year or so, I've kind of like calmed down on the modeling, because I used to model a lot. Like, I'd like do modeling shoots after work on the weekends, but they take a lot of time.
But
like,
how does modeling pay? Excuse my ignorance.
So here's the thing, it doesn't. Okay.
Okay.
It doesn't.
It's just. Welcome to the It's Not That Deep podcast. I'm your host, Deepak Sharma, and today I sit down with my good friend Nouha. Like many of us, she has a 9-to-5 job, but what makes her special to me is her drive to do so much more than just that. Throughout her career, she's ventured into numerous side hustles, such as being a makeup artist, a fashion designer, a model. In addition to that, she's into singing. She's a certified foodie. She does so much, and it really interests me. We talk about all kinds of things, from finding a balance between your passions and paying the bills, stepping out of your comfort zone, as well as the impacts of social media. I really do hope you enjoyed this podcast, and if you do, please hit subscribe and drop a line. Let me know what you think. People say Nouha, and I kind of just adopted it. That's so funny.
I kind of don't correct people anymore.
Facts.
Like sometimes, like now, I'm starting to correct people because it's starting to get annoying a little bit. Because I'm like, that's not my name. But at first,
I think we actually just started the podcast. This is hilarious.
Yeah.
No, like tell me about that a bit though. Like, so when people pronounce your name Nouha,
yeah,
you like that, or is it Nouha that like you actually prefer?
Well,
like you prefer.
Well, like literally, like my name is supposed to be said like Nouha.
Nouha.
Yeah, like in Lebanese, like in Arabic, it's Nouha.
Nouha.
But like sometimes it's a bit hard for people to pronounce it that way, so I'm like Nouha. Like just pronounce the H basically. Like that's all I'm asking.
No, I can completely relate, because like with a name like Deepak, it's like it's obviously not Deepak.
Yeah.
But I've just accepted
you
that.
Just accepted
because like growing up, had a lot of white friends, still do to this day, and it's just like that's how you read it, Deepak. But like my parents would call me like Deepak, or like my cousins and stuff will call me Deepu as like a
that's like a nickname.
Yeah, like a nickname. Yeah. I always hated that one, but another thing you just have to accept, right? That's so hilarious. Anyways, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. I'm really happy to have you here.
Of course.
You're one of the OGs who actually gassed me up to do this. Like since day one. Like I don't know. To me it was just an idea. I was like, I don't know. I was flirting with it. I was like, I don't know, like maybe I should do a podcast. And this girl was like, you have to do it. You'd be good for this, blah blah blah. I was like, you sure?
yeah, just from hearing you talk, like when we're at work and you were just going on your rants or your discussions and stuff, and I was like, I would literally just sit there and listen to you.
Oh my god.
Like on my way to work or like whenever. Like I would legit be interested in hearing what you have to say, you know? So I was like, you need to go, you need to do it, and I'm so happy.
I never thought that about myself. I always thought like, yo, I'm gonna just speak, like say what I have to say. But I never really thought about how are other people going to respond to it. Because it's a weird thing, right? Like when you're just ranting or, let's be honest, complaining.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of a lot of what I did, especially at work.
Yeah.
It's like, you're not going to think about how are people going to receive this? How are people going to think about me? Blah, blah, blah. I'm just going to speak from the heart. And if you fuck with me, you fuck with me. If you don't, so be it. Like,
exactly.
That's how I've always been, you know?
Yeah.
But, I don't know, you, Peter, some of the guys, like everyone, like, told me.
Shout out to Coldry.
Shout out to Coldry. Oh, my God. Where dreams go to die. No, just kidding. Just kidding.
Legit.
Everyone listening to this, like, nah, y'all got to figure it out. But, no, what, like, really interests me about you is, like, actually, you inspired me a lot, because you're one of the ones who, and we've been working together, for context, we've been working together for about, like, 3 years.
Yeah.
At the same place, but you've been working there like coming up on a decade.
Yep.
So like you've been in the game, like so you've been working for the government.
That's so scary to think about. Like
Isn't
10
it?
years is like Like, realistically, it's been more than 10 years, but I've been, like, permanent for 10 years. So I've been maybe, like, 11, I would say.
That's nuts. Did you start off as a student?
I started off as a student, and then
Okay.
I did, like, contracts, and then I got my job. So, like, I've been in the government since I was, like, 18.
That's nuts.
Which is, like, insane.
So, because you've never really seen anything else as your full-time job.
Yeah.
We'll get into all the other things
my
that you
ventures.
do. Your ventures. But, no, that's nuts because, like, what I want to get to is, like, what inspires me about you is you recognize that, like, this particular job was no longer for you.
Yeah.
You know, that's not like saying anything negative. It's just like you knew it was time to move on, and you recognized that and you made it happen. Like you found something that I think, like, just from talking to you, you enjoy a lot more, a little bit more aligned with your personality.
Yes. Like, I mean, at the end of the day, it's still a job. I'm still in the government, but at least I found something that's more, like, in tune with what I like.
Exactly.
So I'm happy for now.
Yeah.
But, like, obviously, with the ventures that I have going on, it's like I'm like aiming for bigger things, you know?
Of course.
Yeah.
Of course. And so now what you're doing is, you want to tell us a bit about it? Like, what kind of job you're into, if you can tell us a little bit about it?
Like my government job?
Yeah, your government job.
So I basically plan conferences for, like, the provincial, territorial, and federal government.
Dope.
Across Canada. So we basically travel around to conferences. We organize them, plan them. We stay there for the duration. And yeah, so it's kind of cool because I get to travel, which is something that I personally like to do.
Yep.
And at the same time, I'm getting to see Canada, which I obviously haven't seen a lot of because airline prices to go, like, to travel within the country is insane.
It makes no sense.
It's stupid. So, like, I'm like, okay, I get to travel for work on, like, my work's dime. Yep. So, you know what? I'll take it. And it's been good so far.
And two birds with one stone, because you get to hit up Canada, which a lot of us as Canadians, we say we want to do, like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go check out this place, that place, whatever. But, like, are you ever actually gonna have the time to actually, like, like? Here's the thing. I say it makes no sense why airline tickets are so expensive, but the country's fucking huge. I kind of get it in that sense.
Yeah.
Like, I always say that, like, it's so ridiculous that flying from, like, Ottawa to Vancouver is more expensive than going to Europe.
Which is, like, it's stupid, honestly.
It is stupid. It is silly.
Really
I think part of it is, like, that Canada's so big, but also, like, I think we pay more taxes at our airports for landing, something like that.
It has to be like the gas prices.
Yeah,
or, like,
there's some
taxes or something.
Exactly, some kind of shit.
Because, like, I've flown to LA for, like, $400.
It makes no sense.
It makes no sense.
Way
and
longer flight.
if you think about it, it's like in this. I'm going west. I'm going all the way west, which is the same thing as Vancouver. You're going all the way west. The worst part is that I'm going to a different country, and it's costing me half price.
No, very true.
Of what it would cost me to go to Vancouver. So, I mean, I hope work sends me to Vancouver because I'm just waiting for them to send me on, like, the big trips. Like,
that'd be hype.
Like, I know. So,
I mean, no disrespect to Halifax and stuff. Like, you are a jet setter and everything, but you haven't really hit the prime destination yet.
You know, no shade towards the East Coast, but, like, I've seen enough of it now. Like, I know Halifax by heart at this point. So
wow,
I'm like, hey,
it's
like,
probably not really that big, right?
It's super tiny.
Yeah.
And it's, like, such a calm and, like, slow-paced, like, city. The whole province is, like, super slow paced. Like, you think Ottawa's boring, you think Ottawa's slow, and, like, if you go to Halifax, everything closes early. Like, literally during the week, we'd go out, like, to eat. Like, some restaurants were closed, and we're like, what?
During the week.
Like, in the middle of, like, their core, like, center downtown, like, near the water, they'd be closed. And we're like, what? They're like, well, it's Tuesday. We're like, so? Like, what do you do with tourists? Like, what happens? But
tourists? All 7 of you?
Seriously.
That's hilarious. Really?
But it's beautiful, though. Like, they have the ocean, which is something that we don't have. So, I mean, that's a plus. It's beautiful. The air is better there.
Would you want to get a, like, government job where you could travel internationally? Or do you think that would be now that you got a little taste of the travel, would that really, like, mess up your life?
I mean, like, right now I only travel, like, I'd say between 4 days to a week. So it doesn't really mess me up that much because it's not, like, disrupting my whole life. Like, I still, it's like I'm basically gone for, like, a work week. So it's whatever. But, I mean, international would be cooler.
Yeah.
I prefer seeing like international countries, not gonna lie.
Facts.
But at the same time, like they obviously wouldn't send you to like Switzerland for a week. Like you'd
Yeah,
be
yeah,
gone
yeah.
for longer.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, I don't mind.
Uh-huh.
Like we'll see.
While
I
you're
guess.
young, get the traveling.
Exactly.
That's something I've always been passionate about too.
Yeah.
Like I love traveling so much,
Yeah.
and that's one of the things that like bothers me about having a full-time job is that you're given these 3 weeks, which like people are gonna like listen to that and be like, this fucker
like,
gets 3 weeks. Like
yeah,
this
like
guy has a full-time job.
Spoiled
Like,
brat.
whatever. But like to me, if I could like set my life up so that I'm just traveling at least 6 months out of the year, I think I'd be like super happy with that.
Well, keep up with the podcast. No, like seriously.
Traveling podcast.
No, seriously, because like
that's a dream.
It's funny because I was reading, I think it was like yesterday or the day before, and I was reading about like the best countries to live in. Like I was at work and I was like, okay, like I have like 2 minutes.
yeah.
to, like,
let me just go browse.
Yeah, so like I was looking at the best countries to live, and then I stumbled on a blog. I don't remember what blog it was, but it was this woman that like literally she works for herself. She's a journalist or a blogger, I don't know. And she basically travels the world, and now she's living in Portugal, and she's like, oh, I've been able to literally just take my work wherever I'm going.
And Portugal's pretty cheap to live there too.
Oh yeah, like I was reading about it and I'm like, yo,
I love that.
That sounds like a dream.
I think that's the future too for a lot of people, is like work for yourself.
Yeah.
Work remotely. I think they're calling it, they have a name for it. It's like digital nomad. Like you don't have a set office you have to go to. And it's not to say these people are like lazy. I'm just wired in a way where I want to go work in different coffee shops. I need to move around. I need to be I need my environment to change. I can't just be sitting in a cubicle. Like I feel like a slave, like not a slave, that's very fucked up to say, but like almost like a modern prisoner that has like, it's like, I don't know. I just need to.
You have freedom, but you don't. Like, it's so trippy. Because I, like, honestly, working at Coldry made me realize how good we had it. Because, like, a lot of times, like, you'd hear, like, people working for the government but not have as much freedom as we did.
Right, so, I hear that all the time.
Yeah, like, oh my God, you're so lucky. Like, you get to work from home. Or, oh, like, they're not as strict when it comes to, like, your schedule. They're flexible, blah, blah, blah. And it's, like, not a lot of departments are that, like, easygoing. So I'm like, thank God we had that experience. Right. But at the same time,
you always want more.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're always like, yeah, this is fine, but what else is out there? What else could I do? What else? Especially while we're young. I don't know. I hate to shit on it because of those reasons, right? We have the freedom to do those kinds of things. I work from home sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes.
You know, we have our like life set up that we can do things on the side, which is actually kind of the perfect segue into you and all the different side hustles that you have going on. Yes. So not only are you just a government worker, you're a makeup artist.
Yes.
You're a certified foodie.
Yes, I'm becoming.
You're a model.
Yes.
And like, to me, you're an influencer. Like, I look at your IG page. We'll have the link below. You want to shout it out?
Yes. So it's Nouha Julienne with 1 L, 2 N's.
Dope.
A lot of people have a hard time with that.
Exactly. So that's why I let you do it.
Yes.
But like, you've got a lot of shit going on. You're a very multifaceted person, and that's one of the reasons you inspire me. So talk to me about the makeup. Talk to me about how you got into that.
Well, honestly, like, I've ventured into so many things. It's like almost embarrassing. Like I had a period of like in my life where I was already working for the government, right? And I was going.
You had your main hustle.
Yeah, and I was going to school at the same time too. So I finished my university while working. Yeah, so I was in university full time.
That's nuts.
And working full time. So I'd literally work 8 to 4, then go to school 5:30 to 8:30, or like 7 to 10, 4 days a week. Like, it was
people
insane.
Don't realize how fucking hard that is. Because your brain is shuts off around like 2 o'clock.
Oh my God. Like, it was insane. I don't even know how I did it. Like, every day I was like, I'm quitting school. Like, I can't do this. Like, I don't want this. But
what
I was
did you study?
Political science.
Okay.
So I went into politics because I found it interesting. Like, I really like debating. Like, I really liked that. Like, I didn't really like the politics side, but I liked debating. I I didn't picture myself being like, okay, I'm going to go work for the parliament. But for some reason, it kind of attracted me. So I went into it. Wasn't really what I expected, but I kept going because I'm like, at the end of the day, like, I don't hate it. I might not work in politics ever, but at least I have that background. I have that knowledge. So it was pretty cool. But like I said, I don't plan on working in politics. I'm not interested in that.
And most people who take that degree don't.
Yeah, I know. It's insane.
I think it's like called the wrong thing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Especially like what you learn is a lot of theory. It's a lot of anyway. Not gonna get into that, but yeah, like after I finished school, I was like, what do I do with my life? Like literally, because I had so much. But I had so much free time.
Right.
Because imagine like having your days filled for years, and then all of a sudden it's like I go home from work and I'm like, oh my God. Like, I actually have free time. I don't have to study. I don't have to go to class.
I can watch TV without feeling guilty.
Yeah, like, I can do stuff. Yeah. So then it's like something just, like, went off in my head. And I was like, I need to do everything possible. So I started venturing into so many things. But
how'd that start? Like, what'd you do? What was, like, the first thing? You're like, you know what? I have a burning desire to try this one thing.
The first thing was, like, I was super into fashion.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, like I loved shopping. I loved putting outfits together. So I was like, you know what? Let me just start taking pictures of my outfits, posting it on Instagram. And that's when Instagram had just started. It was like 2010. Okay.
I remember those days.
Yeah, when like all your photos looked grainy with like the Valencia, like.
Valencia. Remember when people put borders?
Oh my God.
On every photo?
I used to use the Hudson filter so much. Like, it was insane. I remember this. And it had, like, all the borders and stuff. Anyways, I was, like, disgusted.
I used X Pro. What was it called? X Pro something. It just made everything look more badass. And, like, as a dude, that's all I need, right?
Yeah.
I just need... And I was taking pictures of random bullshit. I had like a hat, my food, everything, every little.
It's so funny. Like Instagram was totally not what it was.
It was a Wild West back then. There was no like.
No, exactly. So I started taking pictures of outfits, and then I changed my Instagram name to Julienne Styles. Ooh. So Julienne, FYI, is my middle name, so that's why I keep using it. But I changed it to Julienne Styles, and then I was posting a bunch of outfits and stuff. So I got traction with that. But then I was like, where am I going with this? Like, I'm in Ottawa. Like, who do I think I am? you know?
You're not gonna blow up. Here.
No, because I was like, it's in fashion. Like, Ottawa's definitely not a trendy city, like fashion wise.
Nope.
So I was like, you know what? Like, I love doing it. I could keep doing it for myself, but at the same time, I wasn't really motivated. So I'm like, oh, on to the next. So then but at the same time, I had started modeling already because obviously when I was doing clothes, like, I started getting, like, approached by photographers.
Okay, so that was going to be my question. Yeah. So, like, do you get approached or are you asking photographers like, hey, I need a shoot of these clothes, blah blah blah? Like, how does that all work?
It's a bit of
I know
both.
Nothing about modeling, by the way, so I'm gonna sound like a complete like idiot.
It's a bit of both. I feel like at first, the way I first started is like I got approached by photographers, and I feel like back then it was a lot of people who were starting out, like they were starting to take pictures, so they wanted practice, right? So I had never really modeled before either, so I was like, yeah, like I practice my modeling, you practice your picture taking, so it was like a win-win, right? So like a lot of, you
scratch my back, I scratch yours.
So a lot of the shoots I did at first were that way. It was like, okay, like help me out, I help you out, and a lot of them turned out amazing. And those photographers till this day are still taking pictures, and they're like even better than they were like almost 10 years ago, literally.
That's amazing.
So
that they even stuck with it.
A lot of them stuck with it, and then now, like in the like past years, it's been like both. Like I've been approached, and then I approach people. I haven't really been modeling that much lately, which I'm like kind of like sad about.
Right.
But it's a bit of both. Like I have like my main photographers that I like working with. Mm-hmm. So like I usually like if I have an idea, I'll be like, hey, like I have an idea for a shoot. Are you down? Yeah. Or they'll be like, yo, I saw somewhere that would be really cool. Would you want to go? So yeah, that's how I got into modeling at first.
Interesting.
So, yeah, so I love it, but it's just again like
it's Ottawa, one of those things. Like how do you?
Ottawa's like, honestly, I love Ottawa. It's a really good place to live, but like when you're trying to be creative and you're trying to like go outside the box, it's really hard to do.
There are a lot of barriers for sure.
There are a lot of barriers, but I
think it's changing. I think it's slowly changing. We have a culture that's kind of shifting.
Yeah, 100%. I definitely feel like it's a lot more. There are a lot more creative people now.
100%.
Yeah.
But that's also like the generation change too. Mm-hmm. It's like I don't know, we're kind of questioning the whole notion of just get a job, work these years, blah, blah, blah. Retire, go buy a boat.
Yeah, like,
die.
chill. You know what I mean? Like
people want to do more and also more creative things, more fulfilling things.
Yeah.
More things that are kind of gonna... I never thought I would be creative. To this day, I still don't think I'm a creative person. I'm not creative. Like, the fuck? I never...
This is a creative thing.
Art class, I could barely pass that shit. Fucking music.
Yeah.
I mean, this is something that no one knows about me, but I used to play the trombone when I was in elementary school. But I tried playing the electric guitar. But all these kind of artistic, creative things.
Yeah.
I never pursued. Yeah. It was I'm an athlete. I put myself in that box, I was no, I'm an athlete. Why would why would I waste my time trying to be Picasso here? I am who I am, blah, blah, blah. I had a very tunnel vision kind of idea of my identity, blah, blah, blah. But I feel coming back to what I was talking about, a lot of people are realizing that everyone needs a creative outlet. Everyone kind of has it in them. Yeah. It's are you going to bring it out and how? Yeah. I don't know if I can paint. I never really tried.
Never tried. Yeah, exactly.
Shout out to Deepak's painting coming out soon. I'm just kidding. I can't paint, and I don't think I will. But you said, and many people have been saying, this might... I don't think so, but this could be creativity. We're talking. We're having a conversation. Yeah. We're putting something out there that someone could benefit from in some way. I don't see it as real, true art. Some of these, you go to an art gallery and you see art.
But I feel art is so...
It's subjective.
Yeah, there's so much that falls into art. And I feel creativity is more of free form expression. That's how I view creativity. It's you're free to express yourself in whichever way you want, whether it's music, a podcast, clothing, makeup, whatever it is. If you're expressing yourself, that's being creative, right? You're going outside of your comfort zone, that's being creative.
So, Ottawa, let's come back to that for a second. Yes. Why do we think... Cheers, by the way. Yes, this wine's actually really good.
Yo, I'm actually glad you found it. $10. Yo, it's the best $10.
10 beans. Shout out to Mysterio Malbec.
Yes.
Boom shit. I don't know. I've never really set out to buy Mysterio before, but it's boom.
Yes, very good.
Ottawa, why are we missing that? What is it? Is it that we're a government town? I've heard that thrown around a lot. Is it?
It definitely is.
Is it just the people are just straight up boring? Because I don't really think that. I don't think that's very true.
I feel we got stuck in some sort of a stigma, maybe. Because if you think, like you said, it's our generation that's coming up and is trying to change that, right?
Don't you think every generation before us said that? No?
I don't believe so.
I'm just playing devil's advocate.
I know, but you know what? I don't believe so because Ottawa has never been the place to for example, a lot of artists that came out of Ottawa moved out of Ottawa to do big things.
And never acknowledged Ottawa.
And then they don't claim Ottawa. They I'm not claiming Ottawa.
Shut it out.
Yo,
oh my God, Belly,
exactly,
Masari, these guys.
They'll leave and then they'll claim another city. They'll be Toronto. And I'm okay, I get it because obviously it's a bigger city. There's more opportunity. But at the same time,
this is your hometown. That's where you're from. You know?
I'm sure they somewhat rep it somehow, but it's not
on their driver's license, maybe
but I feel we are, because of what we are what we have now, all of social media and we have access to so much that it's helping us look outside of Ottawa, right? Where before I feel people were so subjected to staying within Ottawa, they didn't have access to go places and to meet people. So I feel we are the generation to maybe start changing that.
Facts.
Hopefully. I mean, Ottawa's not bad. They're trying.
Yeah,
they're trying. They're trying to make the city better and make it pretty.
Yeah, and there's a lot of great things about it too. We can't discount it. Maybe we're just too young to appreciate those things. Everyone I talk to, older, they fucking love it. They're like, yo,
Yeah.
but it's quiet, it's chill. There's
I can't with this climate.
Yeah.
Honestly,
It's weird.
like
That's why I say the 6 months thing. If I could cut from like November
yes.
to like late May,
Oh my God.
yo, Ottawa's the best place on the planet.
Like, for real, even though in the summers I still complain.
Yeah,
like,
probably.
I'm always like, winter's too long. I hate this shit. Where's summer? And then summer comes along and I'm like, I'm fucking dying. I can't breathe. It's so
Does your hair get like fucked up from the humidity?
Oh my God, like my hair is in a bun like most of the summer. Like my hair is like tied up like out of my face because I have a lot of hair. So if it's humid out, if it's like 35, feels like 40, there's
God.
no way like my hair is like
I can completely relate. Like my thing just turns into an afro. No,
I
it does
can't.
not.
And you think from like where we come from we'd be accustomed to that. But no, like I've been here way too long.
No.
My skin has adapted to the Canadian
Facts. Oh my God. In
so
winter, I get 7 shades lighter than I am.
Oh my God.
And I went to India this winter.
Yes.
I went in February.
Yes.
And like the sun was hitting, man. And this is their winter. So I'm thinking like, yo,
It's mellow.
it's not too bad. Bro, I was getting like, I don't want to say sunburnt because I don't get sunburnt.
Yeah.
But I was getting uncomfortably dark and like
You're
I could feel something like, oh my goodness.
I'm getting 5 shades darker.
I'm getting to my original skin tone. What's happening?
You're like, I've never seen this.
I've never seen this. What's going on? No, but yeah, no, it's like Canada definitely impacts you because of just where we live. Like right now, I was looking outside before you came. It was like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I was mildly like infuriated by the sun being in my face. And this is so first world problems. I'm like, why is the sun in my face right now? It's like 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
In Canada, it should be like pitch black.
I know.
Because half the year it is.
Seriously.
By 4 o'clock, it's like bye, sun.
Yeah. Like 5 p.m. max in the winter. I'm like falling asleep.
Yeah,
I'm
we're
like,
hitting peak government talk right now, huh?
Oh
we're hitting weather.
Yeah.
I'm dying.
We're small talking right now.
We're small talking, but it's big talk still. It's big talk still. Let's switch gears a bit. I want to talk about makeup. Let's talk about you being a makeup artist.
Yes. So that's my main thing right now.
Yeah.
That's something that I've really I got into it randomly. Actually, it was because of YouTube.
Okay.
I discovered YouTube like 5 years ago.
Nice.
And I started watching a lot of like makeup artists on YouTube.
The tutorials.
Yeah, like I was
big world out there.
Trust. Like I was so huge into like watching tutorials and I kept watching. And I was like, you know what? Like, I think I could do this. So I started watching tutorials and buying makeup and just practicing on myself. I would literally just sit there and do makeup on myself for hours, take pictures. Like, it was crazy. And then one day, like, my best friend was like, hey, like, I have a wedding to go to. Like, do you want to do my makeup? I was like, yeah, sure. Like, I can try doing your makeup. So I did her makeup. She went to the wedding. And then people were like, oh, my God, your makeup's so nice. Like, who did it? So then she started referring people to me.
Ooh.
So then I got a few of her friends coming to me for their wedding. So that's how it kind of like started.
Those are some of the best stories.
Like
when it starts off like you didn't even
I did
like,
nothing.
I'm just doing this.
I just did it for fun and it turned out good and she referred her friends and that's how it started. So
how nervous were you the first time when she asked you? I'm like, this is your wedding, girl.
Yeah.
Like I've done some YouTube tutorials.
Yeah,
and
like it's crazy because the first wedding that I did, I was so nervous because I was like, oh my God, this is a big day. Like I can't ruin this for her because it's in all of her pictures, in all of everyone's pictures, like everybody.
Forever.
Like it's crazy, and like also like you want to make sure that you're doing what they want and like honestly it's you never think so, but women are so particular when it comes to makeup, and I don't blame them because even if I would get my makeup done, I would also be like, oh my God, what is she doing? What is she putting on my face? Like how much is she putting on my face? Like
I feel that about haircuts sometimes. If I go to a new barber, I'm like, yo, what's this guy fucking doing? Yo, this guy, why is he going so high? What's he doing?
You're like, yo, is he on the right setting?
That's
like,
why it's so important to have that relationship with your barber. I feel like it's even closer when it comes to makeup.
Oh, yeah.
Because now it's like it's directly tied to how you interface with people, how you look.
Yeah, exactly. It's the first thing that people see when they look at you.
Exactly.
Is your makeup, right?
Yeah.
So it was really nerve-wracking, but like I took my time. That was one thing that I did at the beginning. Now I'm like a lot quicker, but at first I would take my time. I would like make sure everything was perfect. Like the mirror was like right here. Like every 2 seconds I'd be like, is this okay? Like, are you liking it so far? So I've never had any complaints, like knock on wood. Like, I don't know, maybe like in the back of their minds they're like, fuck, I hate this shit. This is so ugly. I don't know. Thanks, girls, for not telling me. That would like broken my heart. But like, honestly, like I feel like I've gotten a lot better. I've had to like practice. Like I've practiced on my sister a bunch of times just for fun, because I was like, okay, I need to like try this new technique. So I tried on, because it's a lot. It's very different doing makeup on yourself and doing it on someone else. Like on me, I'm not as like, yeah, I'm a perfectionist, but it's me. So like even if it's not perfect, I'm like whatever. Yeah. But on other people, it's like, oh my god, no, it has to be perfect. Yeah. Like it can't be just whatever. You can't just slip up.
You can't rush through it. You can't just like.
But like I think I started doing it in 2014, just like for fun, and then it just built up from there. And then I created my page on Instagram, and I'm not as active as I should be, because I do a lot of makeup, but I don't post, to be honest, because I find that taking pictures of the makeup is so time consuming. Like it would be like,
you would need a photographer with you.
Exactly. I would need someone there to take pictures of me doing the makeup, or to take the after, because like honestly, for me to take professional pictures, like I do have a lot of pictures on my phone that I've taken myself, like while doing makeup, like the before and after, but I always look at them after and I'm like, it doesn't do the makeup justice. That's my issue. Like every time I look at a picture, I'm like, oh my god, like it looked 50 times better in person. So I'm like, oh, I don't want to post it because like it doesn't look like good enough for me. But then I don't know if it's me that's just like
overanalyzing.
Yeah, overanalyzing and being too hard on myself. Yeah. Like I don't know, but like that's something that I do think about. I'm like, okay, like I do have a camera. I'm like, I should just bring the camera, snapshot, like edit it and post it, like at the end of the day.
But like you say it like that, but you know how much work that is, and how much extra work that is on top of all the things you already do, and you already don't have time for these things that you do.
I know.
So to add to that, it's like legit a decision. It's like a business decision. Do I want to outsource this? Do I want to do it myself? Is it worth it? Blah blah blah.
Well, it wouldn't be worth it for me to outsource it, to have someone come with me. Like, it's not worth it. Like,
no, probably not.
No, but then to do it myself, it would take time. And, like, it sounds funny, but
then how do you grow without
that? That's my thing. And the thing that also is a kind of a roadblock for me is because I usually go to my clients. I don't have them come to me. So I feel like if people would come to me, I could set up a studio, like set up the lights already like ready, set up the chair, the cameras, yeah, exactly. So that whenever I'm done, I just click and go on. But
it's making that initial investment into the studio, right? That's the hard thing. That's like that with a lot of things, man. It's like, I don't know, even with the podcasts for me. Oh yeah. Like I would love to have a studio. Oh my god, how dope would that be? Yo, come meet me in my studio. Not my studio apartment, you know. But like humble beginnings, right? You have to start somewhere.
Eventually, I know for a fact, like I have a feeling that it'll grow. So trust me, one
day.
Look at
her still gassing me up.
I'm gassing you. Legit. I'm not even playing. Like, don't sleep. Do not sleep. I feel like people sleep on people often, and then they miss out. I'm like, don't sleep, because people.
Thank you so much.
People who are consistent,
that really means a lot.
They're gonna make it. So I believe in you.
I plan to be fucking consistent with it. Like I want to post at least one a week for the next 10 years. Oh yeah. But I don't know. You don't even know what's gonna happen in a year from now.
Yeah, but just be consistent. Exactly. Like just do what you can. You know, don't put too much pressure on yourself.
Facts.
Have fun with it, because I feel like once you put too much pressure on yourself, that's when it starts feeling like it's like a duty,
a job. Yeah, no, I never want that.
Oh no.
Have you ever felt that way about the makeup? Like, no, it always feels like fun.
Oh, it's always fun. Every time I get like a makeup appointment, I'm like, yeah, this is gonna be fun. Like, because I get to be creative. Like, that's my outlet. I'm like, yay. It's just that I feel like I need to be more consistent, because I'm not consistent. That I can I can say that I'm not being consistent with it. Because if I was consistent, I'm sure I would have a lot more clients.
Right, but you're doing so many other things. So that's the thing. It's like, it's crazy. It's almost like a function of how much time you put into one thing. You're obviously going to be better at that one thing, but you want to do more than one thing.
Oh, yeah. Well, I had to put a lot of shit to rest because I was doing too much at one point. Like, at one point, I was doing, like, I had the fashion, and then I went into event planning.
Okay.
And then I went into music. And
you
then,
went into music?
Yeah.
Tell me about that a bit.
That's, like, something that I did for a couple years. I have music that I've never released, like, at all.
Like singing?
Yeah, because I was like...
I didn't even know you could sing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Dope.
I'm not confident in myself.
That's that's probably a huge barrier to get over with that craft, because it's like...
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could sing.
Yeah.
But can you sing to a crowd?
Exactly.
Can you sing to the world? That's nerve-wracking.
Yeah, it's
and you probably can. It's listening to yourself, telling yourself.
Well, that was the first, because I remember, like, I met a lot of people that do music in the city, and I was like, yo, like, I always loved singing, like, I want to try it out. So, I met a few producers, did a bit of, like, I did some work with them. Yeah. Made some songs. They're really dope songs, to be honest. Like, till this day, I'd still bump them, like, I love them, but I don't think I was ready at all, because it was something that I did that I was, like, really passionate about for a while. But then
it
I was
fizzled out. You're like, how far do I want to go into this?
Exactly, because then when it came time to be like, okay, like, you have music, like, why don't you just release it? And I was like, no.
It wasn't enough for you to go all in. Put all the chips in.
Yeah, I was like, I don't want people to hear this. Not that it's bad, but it's like I love my songs. But, like, I just didn't feel confident enough to, like, release it to the public. You know, I was always scared. Like, are people gonna fuck with this, or are they gonna be like, oh, look, another girl trying to sing? Like, you know what I mean? Because, like, they're always fads. Like, every couple years, it's like something's cool, right? Like, like, music was cool. Everybody wanted to sing for a bit, and then it was like, oh, now it's like makeup. Makeup is. I call
them phases. I went through so many myself. Yeah. Oh my God, I used to think I'm gonna go to the NFL. Then I thought, I'm gonna be a guitar player. Like, I'm gonna play in a band. I used to think so many different things I'm gonna do.
Ambition.
And then I'm gonna look back 20 years from now, like, I used to think I was gonna do a podcast. Then I did this. Then I did that. Like, it's all, but they're all like building blocks of your life, right? Yeah. And it's what makes you who you are.
Oh yeah.
And the fact that you can sing and you did sing. Yeah. But you didn't like pursue it, but like, to know you could have, and you made that conscious decision to not. There's almost something even more beautiful about that, because it's not like you went, stop, I'm not going to do this music, and now I'm going to do nothing. Yeah. You're like, I'm going to do these other things that I like a bit more.
Well, like, one of my fears was, well, not fears, but one of my worries was, like, I don't want to release music and then just stop. You know what I mean? I was like, if I'm going to release music,
you have to be consistent.
I'm going to be consistent, and that's what I'm going to do.
And that's all consuming. You can't do the other things.
Exactly.
If you're doing that.
Literally,
that's an all-in thing.
Not going to lie. Like, I would go to work, go home, like, eat, shower, whatever, and then I'd go to the studio till, like, 1, 2 a.m. Yeah. Like, dead ass. Yeah. That's how, like...
That's the lifestyle.
That's how, like, into it I was for, like, those 2 years. And
it's a cutthroat industry too, though.
I know, and
like, it's not like what you would have to sacrifice to be successful.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, when I started thinking, I loved in the moment, like, recording the music, writing the songs, like, being in that moment it was dope. Like, I felt good. Eventually I even took, like, singing lessons for a couple of years too, to nice. To like make my voice a lot better, because I could always sing, but obviously there's always things that improvement. Exactly, you can always learn something. So I took vocal lessons for a couple years too, so then my voice started getting better, and I was like, okay, like, this is good. And then when it came time, like I said, I was like, do I really want to do this? Because, like, once I put this out to the world, I don't want to be a flop. Like, I don't want to release 2-3 songs and be like...
one hit wonder.
Yeah, and then be like, you know what? I don't want to do this anymore, so I'm just going to stop. Like, I don't want to be a quitter, basically. So I was like, you know what? Let me hold off on this. You never know. Like, you never know what the world has in store for you. Like, I might one day be like, you know what? I'm ready to make music again. Like, I want to do this. Yep. Maybe at some point in my life I'll be ready. I don't know. But for now, I, like, put that aside. It's still something that I really love to do. But like you said, the industry is super cutthroat. You have to sacrifice a lot. sleep is like non-existent.
What's sleep?
Like, what is sleep?
It's funny because like I have a lot of friends now who are in that game.
Yeah.
And like they could never do the gubby job.
Hell no. It
Because
was
we
hard.
always start work at 7, yo. What are you talking about?
It was really hard. Like, I would go to the studio till like 1, 2 a.m. and then have to work at 8 in the morning.
No,
like,
fuck that.
It started taking a toll on me. And I was like, do I really want to do this? Like, do I really want to?
But the problem is you got to still pay the bills though, right? Like you don't just start off and someone's just going to throw millions of dollars at you like, yeah, you're good. Like, this isn't American Idol. Like, this isn't.
Yeah, seriously, no.
So that's really interesting. I didn't even know that about you. I'm happy to learn that. That's dope.
Yeah.
What are some other like crazy side hustle things that you got into that
That's it, I think. I did fashion designing.
Fashion design. So that's one thing I was going to ask you. So with fashion, it's natural for a lot of people to think, I'm going to make my own shit. Yeah.
Oh, I started a clothing line. It was called JS The Label.
Ooh.
Yeah, like it was Julienne Styles The Label. Like, and I was pushing that heavy.
Okay.
I even like have samples of clothing that I like
what kind of
sourced
clothes?
from Vietnam. Like,
were these only women's clothes?
Yeah, so I started, it was women's, but like a lot of my pieces were very like gender neutral.
Ooh, okay.
So they were very like baggy, like not very feminine, all black, because like I just like really loved, I still do, but like now I've introduced myself to color, but like before it was like black, like
I'm still there, man.
yeah, like I just like, you should see my wardrobe. Like till this day I have like a few colored items, and then it's like black, gray, white, like jeans. Like I literally, it's like a pattern in my closet.
You just described my whole fucking wardrobe.
Like I just love the color black. Like
me too. I don't even know if it counts as a color, but I love it.
It is. I don't care what people say. It's not a shade.
It's a shade.
It's a shade.
It's a shade, ass
Fuck
people.
you.
Fuck those people, man. It's a dank color, and it looks good with everything.
It's the darkest color out there. How can it be a shade? It's a color.
Yes.
Like,
thank you. Preach it.
Yeah, like I don't care what people say.
I don't know.
Color.
To me, like you said, when I mix it up and I wear something yellow, people are like, "Yo, that looks so good." Like, but what's going on? Like,
like,
are you changing your look? What's going on? Like, are you like overhaul of your wardrobe? You went shopping? You went down to the States? Like, yo. Nah, man, it's just a yellow shirt. It's not that deep, man. It's
not that deep.
No, but I like black clothes. Like, I'm pretty sure every podcast I've shot so far, I'm wearing a black T-shirt.
Why not?
Yo, like I don't know. It's
I don't see the but it's funny because I'll go into stores and then like I'll see a shirt or whatever, and then it'll be like a black one, a pink one, a blue one. I'll be like, black. Like I'm always attracted to the black color because I'm like, when am I ever gonna wear a red shirt? Like.
And it goes with everything, and you don't have to think. It actually removes I think it might be because we wake up so early. It removes thinking.
Yes.
In the morning, it's just like legit. This is gonna look good. With these pants, let's go.
Whichever white shirt with any pants, like or black shirt, whatever, like it'll match. At the end of the day,
it's okay. That's how billionaires think. We're ahead of the curve.
Exactly. One day, watch.
Yeah, but no, with the fashion. So then, like, what happened? What was it that?
It's a lot of money. Oh my god.
Okay.
It's a lot of money.
Just sourcing all the
all
the material.
So I had to like study how to give, because I thought like you could legit like holler at a manufacturer and be like, hey, I want to make something like this. And they're like, okay, no. Like, literally, you have to give them, like, drawings of what you want. Like, specific measurements. Like, specific. Like, I learned so much just by, like, I had to Google and, like, YouTube so many things on how to, like, draw sketches of, like, clothing and stuff. And it was a lot of work, but I learned a lot. I learned how to, like what... like the measurements around, like even like you just weird, like you're wearing a t-shirt right now, right? Like literally, you see how like you're stitched here?
Yeah.
Like you have to tell them the measurement of like around the shoulder for each size that you want. Like,
and
it was
each
insane.
size that you have is so variable too, because
it's crazy.
A large on me is not gonna fit like a large on someone else.
Exactly. So I had to literally decide what size range I wanted to go with. Like, did I want to go with the small or like the bigger? It was crazy. So
I have that problem with with fashion because I'm such a big dude.
Yeah.
And like trippy clothes, like UK brands and like hype. Like you see these,
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
I want this $400 like long T-shirt
T-shirt,
that's
yeah.
like off center,
Yeah,
weird.
like it's like cut
It's
like
like, yeah, cut
diagonal.
weird.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
got
yeah.
slits in it. It's like,
Yeah, yeah.
that looks dope. Fucking the largest size is like a medium, and that's a UK medium.
And they're all made like
So to me,
super
that's like a
slim.
small.
Yeah,
Like,
no.
bro, that won't fit on my leg.
But like European sizes are usually made like super tiny.
Oh
like,
yeah, I had
because-
trouble when I was like there, and
Yeah.
I had to go to these big and tall stores,
Oh
and
my God.
they have like no drip, like they're
No.
so whack. It's like you're looking
It's
at
just
the shit.
survival clothes.
It's like, nah, man. I guess I'm just not shopping,
No.
cause this stuff looks whack.
Yeah, no, but yeah.
But no, you could find a way, but that must be like such a process thinking about
it was a lot.
the specifications, measuring shit
Yeah,
out, like
yeah,
the
yeah.
angles. You had to. You were probably
Yeah.
like, yo, I wish I paid more attention in like geometry.
Honestly, I took a sewing class. I took I took 3 sewing classes. So there were like the
Holy
intro,
shit.
intermediate, like, and I learned.
Yo, you did like sewing progressions. You did sewing 1 to 3.
Yeah, like I literally sewed like, yo, it was like it was like an apron, and then I did like a little bag, and then
Holy shit.
I did PJ pants, and I did a skirt. Like I
That's too
literally
funny.
spent my evenings going to freaking sewing class so that I could learn how clothes work, because I was like, I didn't know any of this. Like seams, what are seams?
Yeah,
like,
no.
you know what I mean? So that took a lot of time and effort, and I was like talking to Asia, because obviously
Yeah, yeah,
I'm not
you
going to source in Canada and the US because it's too expensive.
Yeah, no one's gonna be able to afford a $500 fucking shirt.
No.
Like,
So literally I was talking to Vietnam, but like they're like 14 hours ahead. So I was literally staying up all night chatting with like my freaking like
the distributor.
yeah,
like
the distributor.
manufacturer, yeah.
the manufacturer, like trying to like figure out the clothes. Finally got the samples. Cost me an arm, because obviously when they're producing one, it's not as like they're producing
Right.
500.
Getting the sample.
Yeah, the samples were so expensive. Got them.
And that probably broke your heart, because you're just like, I just want to see if this is good.
Yes.
And then order a bunch and
Yeah.
then start selling it. I don't want to do all this bullshit.
Yeah, no, like it's
Did
crazy.
the dudes speak good English?
Oh yeah, they spoke like really good English.
Okay,
and
that's dope.
it was really easy to communicate with them, but it's just like the process was like too much. Like I received the samples, but then like they weren't right. So then I had to go
That's
get
a
them.
big problem
Oh,
people
hell
have,
yeah.
with, especially like getting things from Asia.
Yeah, so I had to get them altered. I actually did like a campaign. I did a photo shoot with the clothes. I even like was part of like a fashion show. I even like, so I did that for like a while too, but then I was like, oh my God, this is something I'm going to get back to when I actually have money to spend. Like I really do want to do, I still have my samples. I still think they're still going to be like, they're timeless pieces. Like
Yeah, they're fire.
Yeah, I made sure to like create timeless pieces so that like they would still be in style if I wanted to, like, so I'm probably gonna go back into that at someday, but that's when I have like cash flow that I can like
actual
yeah
yeah
like it's cash that I can just like put into that, because if not, no, trying to pay bills and work on your 5 dreams at the same time.
yeah no I don't know how you do it.
It's too much.
I actually don't understand.
It's too much.
You make no sense to me, because with all this and all these different things that you've done and you're
Yeah.
still doing, like, how do you even find the time to balance doing mundane bullshit like laundry and like dishes?
Well, now it's even harder because I'm traveling a lot. So like,
Does it
now
fall
it's-
on your husband a lot?
well, now it's like we're having to like split tasks so much, and like it's crazy because I come home like from like I'll be gone for a week, and I come home and I have like so much laundry to do, because I'm obviously like wanting to wash everything I brought with me. So I'm like, oh my God, I only have like 2 days of like cleaning and laundry and groceries, and I have to go back to work. Like it's very stressful, and I think that's why for the past like year or so I've kind of like calmed down on the modeling, because I used to model a lot. Like I'd like do modeling shoots after work on the weekends, but they take a lot of time.
But
like,
how does modeling pay? Excuse my ignorance.
So here's the thing, it doesn't. Okay.
Okay.
It doesn't.
It's just a future hope that someone's gonna.
Yes.
Okay.
So a lot of the shoots that I've done were creatives, so they were non-paying. Like, And that's like
That's probably a big reason why you can no longer do it.
Yeah, well, I used to do a lot of shoots before. Like legit, I'd had like maybe 2 a week. Like it was insane how many shoots I did because I was like, this is fun. Like I'm taking pictures. I get all this content. I was so consistent on my page because I literally had new pictures all the time.
Yeah.
But then I was like, yo, this is a lot of time and effort for me to be doing this shit for free.
Yeah.
Plus, like, a lot of times, like, no hate on, I'm not going to name any people, but, like, sometimes I'd receive pictures and I'm like, like,
this ain't it, chief.
This is not it. Like, this is not it. Not because they suck, but it's just, like, you never know. Sometimes you have off days. Sometimes the photographer has off days. Sometimes the editing, I was like, not a fan of it. So, like, I really learned to pick and choose who I wanted to work with and how much time I spend doing shoots. But it's sad because I love taking pictures. So now I have like no content because I'm like, do I really want to do all these shoots again for free and waste all my time that I don't have? I have no time now.
No, you
know what I mean?
Straight up don't. Like,
so it's like,
I'm wondering how the household stays together.
Oh my God. Like I'm literally like,
how do you have time for Wayne the Wiener?
Oh my God. Shout out to Wayne the Wiener. Oh my God, my little puppy.
Follow on Instagram.
Yes,
Your puppy's
Wayne
the cutest puppy
He's
ever.
He's so
man.
cute. Like
I saw those videos yesterday of like your dog with the life jacket floating in the pool on a floaty. Yo, my heart melted.
Yo, he's living his best life.
He's chilling. He's out here.
Yo, in the sun, just sunbathing in the pool, like
so relaxed.
Not
so
even
calm.
getting wet. That's the worst part. Like this guy is so spoiled.
Bougie.
Like
so
he's
bougie.
the bougiest dog ever. It's my fault because I freaking treat him like a child. I'm like, it's my
but
baby.
like you're coming back to it though, like you don't have time for the dog, let alone like.
I know, it's ridiculous. That's why I calmed it down a lot. But
yeah.
I mean, I'm starting to get back into it a lot now because I feel like, not gonna lie, the job that I had like was really weighing me down for a while, and I was like I'd go home drained mentally. I'd be like, I don't want to do anything. But now that I'm in like a faster pace, I find that I'm like picking up. Like I'm like, okay, like I'm
more energy.
I'm more energetic. Like
which is funny because you're spending more energy too.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot more. You're travel. Like people don't realize it takes a lot out of you. Mm-hmm. You have to actually recover. Like just getting on a flight. I don't care if it's 3 hours. Like you still have to have some downtime and chill time.
Oh yeah.
Having to do all that and then coming back and doing like these kinds of things, like
no, it's a lot, but like I don't know, I'm going with the flow right now, trying to see where it takes me. I mean, I don't know, hopefully I can get back into like my actual passions, because at the end of the day that's my goal, is to like be able to do what I love and take it and
support yourself with it.
That be my full time, you know, like that's the dream for everybody.
I think that's the dream for so many people out here, but it's like boring shit pays the bills.
Yeah, but I feel like people have to be realistic. That's what I always told myself. I'm like, listen, like I'm not at an age anymore like where I can just like quit my job and like move to LA.
Right.
Like a lot of people be like, oh, just like drop everything. And I'm like, yeah, it's easy to say, but like it can't be like that. I'm like, I'm too old now. Like I can't do that shit. Like maybe if I was 18 years old, I could be like, I have no responsibilities. And I can just move and go. Yeah. But I'm like, no, that can't happen right now.
People love to focus too on the success stories of the people that go to LA and make it.
Yes.
But with one person that like happened to make it, there's probably 10,000 who move to LA every day and just fall on their ass.
Yeah, and they're working
because they can't even afford rent.
Yeah, and they're working like retail jobs or like waiting tables and like,
so it's not all glamour and just like quit your job and it's gonna be peaches and rainbows.
Well, that's Instagram for you.
That's Instagram.
That happened to me. Like the number of times I look at people and I'm like, this person is 21 years old and they're a millionaire. Huh? Explain to me.
Things don't add up.
And then I'm like, make it make sense. Like, how are these people making so much money and I'm sitting here at my job and I'm like, I'm like dying. But then I think, but then you have to be realistic. Like,
you do, but oh my God, it's so easy to compare your life to these Instagram booty models just out here making like 700K a post, just traveling the whole world, like. Oh my God, everything looks so good, but that's also a manufactured image.
Oh yeah.
You don't see all the behind the scenes. I'd love to I'd love to have a podcast with like someone who's famous in that space, not necessarily just like a fitness person or whatever, but like anyone who's got
someone
that kind
of
clout,
life,
who like to us it sounds like the dream, but
to them
it's like, no, this is so exhausting. Like I hate it. I can't turn it off. I can't turn my phone on. I can't go anywhere.
Yeah, like imagine every time you do something, you have to think of it as like a post.
How are people gonna view me doing this thing?
Yeah, you're like, okay, like I'm on vacation. Wait a sec, I have to post a picture every day.
Is it even vacation anymore?
And it has to be like the most like aesthetic like thing ever. And I'm like, yo, that's a lot of effort. Like,
wow, that's so true. Oh my goodness, I never even thought about that. Like,
it's like, no,
you can't
it's not
even
fun
ever
anymore.
You can't ever really unplug from that life. And like, oh my goodness, social media is crazy because like we live in such an interesting time because we're so hyper connected and we're so like we're always online now. Always. There's not a time 100%. When your phone is not connected to the internet. And that 2 minutes when the Wi-Fi is slow is like the worst 2 minutes of your fucking day.
I fucking hate it.
I'll turn, if my Wi-Fi is not loading something for like 30 seconds, I'll turn it off and go to my LTE.
I do
like,
the same thing.
Like, fuck, what an inconvenience.
Like, I have Wi-Fi at work now, which is blessed.
Oh, that's nuts.
Okay? It's insane.
Ooh.
I'm like, yo, blessed, I have Wi-Fi. As soon as it takes like 2 seconds, like you said, I'm like, data, here I come. Like,
not waiting.
No.
So imagine like our future generation, like our kids someday are going to be like even more connected than this. So to them, reality.
I like sipped into the I'm like,
yo, be you. We're just talking.
So obnoxious.
Don't even worry about it. Don't even stress. But like our kids or people in the next generation are not even gonna. We're in like a weird transition period where there are still people out there who are ghosts who don't have social media and blah blah blah.
Oh yeah.
But it's not gonna be an option in the future. Like that's gonna be. I think China's already doing like social credit system where like the things you do and. Right now, it's only negative things. Like if you do bad things, like spit gum or jaywalk, I don't know, bad things to their government.
Spit gum.
I don't know, some bullshit. You can like be penalized. You might not be able to get a first class flight somewhere. You get lower in the social ranking.
Oh my god! It's like that Black Mirror episode.
Exactly like that.
Did you watch that Black Mirror?
Yeah, it was so freaky.
Me up.
That's what I was trying to get to.
Me
because
up.
She's just posting these like, I'm happy.
Yeah.
+5. Or like, hey, hope you're doing well, like +7. And then like, shows a bit of anger, like -20.
Yeah.
What?
Like you're literally being rated as a person, and then like that rating is used to like decide how you're treated in society.
It's darkness.
Yo.
It's so weird.
I'm tripped out right now.
Sorry?
I'm so tripped out right now.
It's creepy, man.
Oh my god.
But yo, we're almost like getting there. If you're super like it right now, it's like between the lines. It's like if you're killing it on social, dude, I'm noticing it already.
Yeah. In
the last few weeks, whatever it's been since I posted this podcast.
Yeah.
Like socially, online, I'm killing it, right? Because I'm trying to post as much as I can about the podcast to get people to know about it so it can grow, blah, blah, blah. But like, I'm getting messages from people who I never thought I would talk to again, or strangers or randoms, just because of like,
and they're like,
just being,
remember me?
Yeah. Just like, hey, how can I get on the podcast? Like,
oh my god.
Okay.
You're like clout chaser.
So but like that's such a small scale. I haven't done shit yet. Imagine the people who are like, they have to get someone to manage it for them because it's that crazy. This is nuts. But
hopefully you get to that point, because that means you made it.
I don't know, man.
Once you get a publicist, you've made it.
Once you have a PR agent, like
yes.
Deepak, no.
Deepak, no, you can't write that.
That third glass of wine, that's a no.
I see you going.
You have to watch your figure. You have that movie coming up with The Rock.
What? Oh my god. The
Goals.
Rock. That's ultimate goals.
No, but social media is so weird because it's being blended into our lives. It's also just our lives, right? Like, to me, I try to be as authentic as I can.
Yeah.
But I catch myself doing dumb shit, man. I catch myself at a restaurant. You and me are both guilty of this.
Oh my
About
God.
to eat, like, oh, wait. Better fucking post this.
No. You can't be as bad as me. Like, I'm the worst. Like, people hate me now. They're like, okay. Like, it gets to a point that, like, if I go out... like, even like I've gone on conference at work and told my coworkers not to touch their food.
Wait.
I literally, like, people that I barely know, I'm like, don't touch your like, wait, let me take a video. And I'm like taking like more than one too. Like, who do I think I am? Like,
oh yeah.
I'm
like, oh, that one wasn't so good.
I don't really like, the lighting was off on this one. Let me take another angle. Then I'm like standing up, taking pictures, and I'm like, what have I become?
I know.
But I enjoy it. Not gonna lie. Like,
me too.
But you know what?
It's fun.
It's so much fun.
It's fun. Yo,
I
it's
love
like
showing people.
because,
I'm spending my hard-earned money on this meal.
Exactly.
You need to see what I'm eating. Like,
and also, it's not even just that. It's that you know that people are gonna... There are people out there who are gonna fuck with it. Who are gonna be like, yo, that restaurant's dank. I've been there. Oh, I can't... Oh, I was there tonight. Just that little connection is, like, worth it.
Yeah.
Because it's positive.
No, I love it. Because, like, even for me, like, I started doing it with no purpose at all. Like, I was not like, I'm gonna start a food blog. No, it was like...
To be honest, I never thought about why I do it. Yeah, there's no reason.
Like, there's no reason. I'm just like, oh, this food looks cute. Like, it looks nice. Like, oh, it's pretty. Like, they made it. So I'm like, oh, let me take a picture. And then I just started doing it. Also, now, like, I eat out way too much. Like, way too much.
You really
it's actually a freaking problem.
I have questions about that too.
Yo,
man.
like, I spent, like, trust me, I don't spend money on shit anymore except food. Like, if someone, like, you can tell me, like, people say this all the time, like, I'd rather buy food than a shirt. Like, no, for me, it's, like, legit. Like, I can spend, like, $30 on, like, an app, and I'd be like, if it's good, I don't care. Like, it's like, I'm so into food right now. I don't know what it is, but, like, just like me posting these random stories. I don't even post pictures on my page. Like, just my story. And I get people like, oh my God, like, where is this? Where, like, I want to go. And then, like, a couple weeks ago, I had a girl that was like, oh my God, like, I went to the restaurant that you went to and, like, we loved it. And I'm like, oh my God, you guys are actually, like,
winning. That's dope.
You guys are actually, like, looking at my stories.
Yeah.
You're paying
isn't
attention.
That a weird thing? It's not like you're just skipping past it.
Yeah,
it's like you're watching this.
Yeah, you're actually
you're
paying
checking
attention.
where I went. And you're going there.
So that, like, motivated me. I'm like, oh my God. And, like, the amount of people that have told me, like, Nouha, you need to start a food blog. Like, you need to start a food blog. Like, you go out so much, especially now that I travel and I go to, like, different, like, cities, and I'm posting.
Which is also super dope and fun,
like,
right?
Like, I'm posting.
Experiencing completely new places.
Exactly.
It's not just like Ottawa.
Yeah.
I'm at the same place.
Exactly.
But, like, fuck yeah, I'm at the ramen place.
Yeah, like, oh, it's pho again.
Yeah.
Like, now that I'm going to other cities, I'm posting. It's, like, even more fun. So,
and
like,
the
I'm
food
thinking.
Looks so good. Yo, if you guys follow her and you just look at the kind of food in the past week alone, I hope you have them saved. I hope you saved them.
They're in my highlights. So I created, like, my little highlights.
Dope. So that's at least they're documented. No, I'm serious, because you mentioned something earlier. Is that, like, you don't post it in your feed.
Yeah.
You post it in your
my
story, which is another very interesting thing to me, because it's like, there's a difference.
Oh, yeah.
The story is something that in theory disappears.
Yes.
Other than the whole highlight thing. But like, the feed is there.
Yeah.
That's your, like, showcase. Mm-hmm. This is me.
Yeah,
But for whatever reason, posting food now is only reserved for people who post food.
Yeah. Because I feel like if I posted food on my feed, it'd be so random. Like, it'd be like, okay, here's a picture of a plate.
I'm not the guy to talk about a feed because I'm so, like, all over the place. Like, lately it's been focused on the podcast. You go further back, it's just fucking random photos of me on random nights out. I'm so bad at Instagram. But, like, it's such a weird game that we're all playing. We're displaying the best parts of ourselves for, I guess, our friends, but also strangers that come across us. Yeah. But, like, what's the point of it all? I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I participate. I fully ride with it. I don't care.
We're being sheep about this.
We are, yo. Yeah. But, like, at the same time, I don't fuck with the people who are completely like have nothing to do with it. Like,
Yeah.
okay, man, good for you. Go live in a fucking cabin in the middle of a forest with no electricity.
Yeah.
No, like their argument is so silly sometimes. It's like,
Yeah.
why do I need social media? Like I
enjoy real things in real time.
I read books.
I read books too,
Yeah,
bitch.
I do too, motherfucker. And then I fucking post a snap about it.
Like, hey, bitch, I'm reading.
So I don't know. It's a weird time to be
Yeah.
alive. I think we see the positive in social media, but there's
Yeah.
also a lot of negative.
Oh, yeah.
Because let's say someone can't afford to even fucking eat out the way you do and I do.
I'm sorry.
Even you can't afford it,
I can't
but you do
afford
it.
I do it anyway.
But like, yo, what do you want me to do? It's
Yeah.
like I can't just feel sorry for people and just
Yeah.
change my behavior based on how you feel.
As long as you stay humble, I find that people can respect that, right? Like, I find that a lot of times, like I used to follow a lot of, like we were talking about earlier, a lot of people who have like millions of followers and like they're super Instagram famous. And then I'd look at their page and there's a difference between people who are posting for show
Yeah.
and people who post just because they
Just to post
because they're having fun or they really truly love what they're doing and stuff like that. And I've learned to like differentiate that. Like,
Facts.
now I know, like, okay, I only follow people that I know that they're humble about where they're at and what they're doing, you know, and like you can actually tell that it's not just for show. They're doing it because they love it, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like if you are able to differentiate that, then you're able to see the good side.
That's so true.
Of Instagram and of social media, right?
I love it.
Like, if you stay humble, you're good.
Yep.
And then even if I can't, like I said, like even if I look at their shit and I can't afford it and I can't do what they're doing, I don't envy them because I'm like, you know what? There's just
you're at a different place.
You're just at a different place in life. You're humble about it. Like, you were once where I was. So if I really want what you have, I just have to work for it. Like, that's it.
Fucking love it. That's so epic.
Yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
Mic drop.
Mic drop. Boom. It's done. We do have to wrap this up. If you can believe it, it's been an hour already.
Whoa.
Yeah. Right? It just
I could literally go on for another hour. I have so much shit to say.
Same. I feel the same way, but I do have to wrap this up.
Yes.
We'll do this again. We'll do this so many times. That's the thing. Like, with these podcasts, we could just talk.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't have to be like, yo, but I have two things I need to say. Like, I have actually one question for you that's like super random and like it's legit like a personal thing I need to know for myself. Yes. I got bags under my eyes like permanently.
Yes.
Like always.
Mm-hmm.
And I know it's because like I don't get enough sleep or whatever, but like I drink a lot of water. I'm a relatively healthy guy, minus all this drinking, blah, blah, blah.
I know, like,
whatever. But like, how do I get rid of I bought a serum thing once and I put it on. I did nothing except make my fucking eye bag feel weird. Like, what do I do? Help me. Help me.
Maybe you got the wrong. Honestly, serums are the way to go.
Okay.
You have to, like in all things in life, you have to be consistent with it.
Okay. I gave up after like 2 days.
Honestly, for dark circles, vitamin C.
Vitamin C. Okay.
Yeah.
All
Find an eye cream or anything, or even like pure vitamin C.
Where do I get that? Because like, yo, I used to work at Shoppers Drug Mart.
Amazon.
Okay.
So Amazon, if you just like search vitamin C serum, like you'll
there's
find...
too many out there. I'm gonna have to hit you up. You're gonna have to give me some proper recommendation because there's so many levels to it. Like I was just saying, like when I worked at Shoppers Drug Mart, I used to think, yo, this is like high-end makeup.
Yeah.
This is top shit. Like, yo, like I'm covering for the person in the beauty department. Yo, this is like heavy duty shit. Then they're like, no, you gotta go to MAC. And then I went to MAC. Like I didn't go, but like I knew somebody that I went with, and they're like, we should go to Sephora. And now I'm learning that Sephora has a men's department.
Oh yeah.
And I'm like, yo, do I want to drop $80 on some eye serum that may or may not work?
I spend so much money on skincare, it's not even fucking funny. So like holla at your girl, because I know like serums that you can like use for that.
I love it. Before we go, I do this thing called a lightning round, where I'm gonna ask you like 5 questions.
Of course.
They're horrible. example. I just I'm really bad at this, but I'm gonna get better.
Yeah.
But just answer like not as quick as you can, but keep it concise.
You need a button like a.
You know, one of those like that's cheesy like
yeah, or like
time's up.
Oh my god, I unplugged myself.
Oh, actually?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Oh no, it's out of your headphones.
Oh shit.
I don't think it matters. It actually.
No, but I liked hearing myself.
Okay, I got you. It's just on the side there, yeah. All
Testing. Right. Okay, I'm back.
You got it. Question.
I'm back, guys.
Isn't it cool though how you hear yourself?
I prefer hearing myself.
You're locked in.
Oh yeah, because like
nothing else
you
matters.
can't hear anything around you.
Love it. Okay, question number 1.
Okay.
What do you spend your money on that you're guilty about?
Food.
Yeah, I knew that one. Is there a particular brand you would never cheat on no matter what?
A brand?
Like a brand of something like iPhone or candy or I don't know.
It would probably be iPhone.
iPhone.
Like I have
you'll never go away from.
I have an Android for work right now. I have a work phone, bitch. I made it. Okay.
Work phone, trap line.
Yeah, and it's a Samsung, and I fucking hate it.
It's probably really annoying to
I
use.
fucking hate it. Okay,
I'm iPhone army too.
Team iPhone, all
it's just
Team
so
Apple.
easy to
Team
use.
Apple.
It's just so clean.
That's the first thing I can think about right now is Team
and
Apple.
Android people are out there like, well,
Yo, do you not?
You don't understand that it's customizable.
Okay, you have an iPhone, right?
Yes.
Do you see pictures that Android people
They're
take?
like
They look
out
like
of a
bots.
toaster.
They look like they're bots.
Yo,
I'm like,
have
what
you seen
is this?
Snapchats
Yo,
from
I
them? It's
can't.
like, I'm just gonna close this.
Yeah,
right now.
no. I
or
know
like
right away.
getting
right
a
away.
green text.
Oh my! What is
Let's
that?
not even
if
talk.
it's not iMessage, yo, fuck out of here.
Can you just call me? Like
Fuck
I don't even like talking on the phone.
Go on
but
WhatsApp. Worst case, I need to see that you read my message.
So WhatsApp. Okay, go to fast food joint in Ottawa.
A&W.
A&W.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay,
Yeah.
I was not expecting that. I
Yeah.
thought you're gonna have some dank like fast food, like little shack in the middle of nowhere. Like, oh,
No,
let me tell you about
I don't really eat fast food, but if I do, it's usually A&W. Yeah.
24 hours.
Yeah.
I like it. What is your biggest addiction?
Oh my god. Weed. I'm joking.
But she's not.
Joking.
Okay, this last question here is super random, and I didn't even really think it through, but
Yeah.
let's just roll with it. If you had the chance right now to be a stakeholder in Fenty Beauty, but you could only own 1% of the whole company, let's
Yeah.
just say,
Yeah.
for whatever reason, or Kylie Cosmetics for 3%. Which one would you go for?
Fenty for sure.
Fenty.
Yeah.
It's just why? What does it just stand?
Because I respect Rihanna.
Exactly. I had a feeling that's why I
Yeah.
put her at 1.
You
but
know what?
Kylie Cosmetics is worth a lot.
Yeah, she's worth
I did
billions.
not know
but
this.
like, it's not that I don't respect Kylie. I respect her grind. I mean, at the end of the day, she got to where she got because she grinded. People will say like, "Oh, she got." I mean, she did get given a lot, but at the end of the day,
She worked for it, but
She
at the
worked
same
for
time,
it.
she was set up. It's like saying Donald Trump like
Exactly.
started from the bottom.
No, but
when he
that's
was
why-
given a small loan of like
$1
$1
million.
billion.
Yeah. But that's why I'm saying that for me, I would prefer Rihanna because I know that Rihanna came from like a humble beginning and
Facts.
she literally worked her way to where she's at right now. She started in music, she's doing movies, she's doing beauty, she's doing fashion. And like she's someone I look up to a lot. So for me, it's Rihanna 100%. Like even if it was 0.5%, I'd be like, just to have like
just to call her.
Just to have like a little bit
I'll
of
take
her.
0%. I just want to fucking have a direct
can't.
line.
Like this woman is too much.
She's
like,
dope.
Yeah,
No,
it's
I
like-
figured you'd
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
with her a bit more. Okay, thank you so much for coming
Thanks
onto the
for
podcast.
having
I really
me.
love that conversation.
Yes, me
And
too.
let's just tell people where to find you, what you're up to,
Yes.
how to.
Okay, so right now you can find me in Halifax. I'm joking. But Instagram, I don't have Snapchat.
Okay.
I don't have Twitter.
All right.
I literally just have Instagram.
Instagram.
Like
dope.
that's my
so
shit.
if someone wants to get some makeup done, they're looking at
Yes.
this right now. They're
So
like,
right
"Damn,
now,
girl."
like if you want to reach my personal page, it's Nouha Julienne, and my makeup page is Makeup by Nouha. So it's all linked. Once you go onto my personal one,
we'll have it all below too.
Yes, there's my makeup page, and there's even like Wayne the Wieners.
Wayne the
page.
Wiener. Go
So-
follow that. That dog's hilarious.
So, yeah.
Anyways, thank you so much.
Thank
and just
you.
remember, it's not that deep.
Yes, it never is.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Bye.
I really enjoyed that conversation with Nouha, and I hope you did as well. If you got some value from this, please hit the subscribe button and consider contributing to my Patreon page. For as little as $2 a month, that's like a coffee, you could support me in doing this long term. Thank you for watching and listening. It's not that deep.